Hi, it's Stephanie Evelo here with the Evelo Team at Keller Realty. As the owner of the team, I am so excited to share this information with you. And I have, of course, with me the honorary Hannah Perkey, our team CEO.
Hey guys,
So,
welcome.
Hannah and I, yes, welcome. And Hannah and I really just want to have a conversation about why join the Evelo team. You know, we get asked all the time, what does our team have to offer? What do we do? What is it like? What's the culture like? What's the compensation? We just get lots and lots of questions. So we hope that this video will help answer all of those questions about why join the Evelo team versus any other team or any other option out there in real estate. So let's get started. Hannah, anything else you want to add to why we're doing this video?
Yeah, so probably if you're watching this video, either we have had an initial conversation with you and we're looking to go further, or maybe you're just exploring if we'd be a good fit. So the goal is that this answers some of those standard questions that we feel like, you know, we can get across in a recording. And then from there, we want you to bring your other questions so that we can get into deeper conversation with you. So we know there'll be other things, and that's what we'll be there for following this video.
So yeah, so the first question is team versus single agent. So I get asked so often, why a team versus just being an individual agent? You know, because a lot of people don't know and understand. They think that getting into real estate, the only option is to be an individual agent on their own. But there is an option to join a team. And I do want to make sure that I communicate the myth about joining a team. Sometimes people believe that if you cannot succeed as an individual agent, then you need to join a team. And our philosophy is if you can't succeed on your own, you also can't succeed on a team. So we're only looking for people who can be rock stars on a team or individually, but someone who's really wanting to have that team and camaraderie atmosphere. So let's talk about joining a team versus being an individual. What would that look like? Next slide. So as an individual, you're the owner and entrepreneur of your own business, and you wear all the hats and do everything in each category. And when I first got into the business, this was what I was. I was an individual agent on my own, doing my own thing. And I was wearing the hat of the owner, the human resource director, the manager, the marketing director, lead generation director, finance director, transaction manager, technology director, database manager, event planner for client events, and social media director and all the marketing. So really, when you're an individual agent, you are wearing the hats of all of those things and all of those items. So Hannah, do you want to talk about maybe what's the value of a team? So
Absolutely. Yeah, so you're still the owner and entrepreneur of your own business. We really believe our team's made up of a lot of people running their own businesses, and we come together to share the skills that each of us have to make a really powerful group together. So you still have that ownership, but it's being done in a collaborative perspective. In addition, our goal is to give you all the support that you need. So you can see here, you're going to have all of those positions filled by people and support and resources within our team. And so Steph or I will talk on the next slide about kind of what your duties are and what the expectations are. But the goal is that you can focus in on being a salesperson and going for the hunt and getting the business, and then you can hand it over. I run the ops team, so you can hand it over to the ops team and then run on to the next hunt. That's really the setup that we have for our agents. Does that explain it pretty good, Steph?
yeah, absolutely. And I think many may or may not know my story, but I actually started out as an administrative assistant. So I was an administrative assistant for 3 years for another team here in Indianapolis. And that I learned and knew and understood the value of a team. So the first week that I was in business for myself, when I left that team, then I actually hired my own first assistant. So, you know, many people said, well, wait, you just went from being an assistant and now you hired one. Yes, I knew and understood the value of leverage, right? So it's leverage of time and leverage of skill set, because I am not good at all these things that I just mentioned and that you see on the screen. Those are not all my forte. I am very good at a few of those areas, and I specialize in finding talent and finding the right people and for our team and for the talent pool. But I am not good with the paperwork. And so those are some of the values of joining a team and being a part of something bigger than yourself.
Yeah, and I think how our team operates, so these jobs here, it's not that you don't get to touch any of them, but for example, we have a social media committee. So if someone's really good at Instagram, we say, hey, focus on that, and then let another team member or another position focus on the tech or the database or whatever those other areas are. So we see people coming into their strengths. We have one agent who's awesome at event planning, and so she's really plugged into that area, but she's not one to create like custom Facebook ads. We have another team member that's really great at that. So you get to come in and really bring stuff to the table, but let others cover your weaknesses.
Yeah, very nicely put. Yes.
Thanks.
So let's talk about expectations. Hannah, because you oversee all of our sales staff. So what do we expect from you as an agent?
Yeah, so we want you guys to be able to focus on what you're the very best at, right? And so that's where we're taking off those administrative duties, et cetera. So these are the 5 things that we say we want you doing every day. So lead gen, that looks like working your database. We're a very heavily focused team on our database. We think that's the easiest and most natural way to get your business. So we have activities around that, and it's really you just doing the work around that lead gen. We want you going on appointments. Once you're negotiating offers, you're the expert at that. Go to your closings, be with the clients, form those relationships, and then practice, right? Like a professional athlete doesn't go out to the game and say, hey, this is our first time running this play. So same with us. We want to make sure that we're practicing and honing our skills together as a team.
Yeah. And so let's talk about priorities. So our Evelo Team priorities are God first, family second, and career third. And that's not just for our team, but that's also for Keller Williams International. And we adopted that before we were KW, and then we found that was the same philosophy within Keller Williams as well.
And Steph, I want to touch on that because we really live that. Like I think a lot of companies say that, but truly, like when I first started working for Steph and I had a kid sick, she'd be like, go take care of your kid, like work can wait. And so we truly operate by that, and we're very family focused type of business.
Yes, and I think yes, we're very family heavy on our agent side, right? All of our agents are very intertwined with lots of family and kids and lots of little ones and big ones running around, right?
Yeah,
for sure. So and then also we are looking for full-time real estate agents committed to our real estate careers. We know that a lot of people want to do this like on the side, part-time, or and we're not opposed to easing into it. It's just that we do want and need someone on our team who is fully committed to real estate as their full-time career, not a hobby, not a side gig. You know, we really want someone who is fully focused and moving forward in real estate.
And Steph, I think for like our collaboration, not to interrupt you, but for our collaboration and what we provide you as a team member for that really to work, what we've seen is if you're part-time, it's just not as valuable. It doesn't click with the whole team. And so that's why we have that in place. And if you are looking to transition, we just make a transition plan with you to say, hey, let's figure out, is this 3 months? Is this 6 months? And how do we help you make that jump?
Yeah, absolutely. And then our team, of course, provides all the support so that you can focus your time and attention on your 20%. You may have heard of the 80-20 rule. And so we want you focusing on your 20% so that that will bring you 80% of your business and income, as an agent, as a salesperson. So then we have the support behind the scenes that helps take care of all of your 80% so that you're not focused on that.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so Steph, you want to tell us the history here?
Yeah, so history, I think I just alluded to, but yes, I actually was licensed back in 1992. I started the Evelo team back in 1998. It was just Derek and myself, and then we had an assistant the first week in the business and hired our first buyer's agent back in that day, back in 1998 and such. And in between there, we did own another franchise, and then we became owners in Keller Williams franchise in 2007. So we came and joined Keller Williams in 2007. We've been growing the team ever since then, and yet back then it was me who was working to grow the team and raising 3 kids and trying to manage ownership and the team and all of the above. And so with that, we did bring on a CEO, Hannah Perkey, came to join us back in 2016. God just absolutely placed her in our lap, and we're so excited and thankful and blessed to have her here. And so since then, in the last 4 years, we have really experienced some exponential growth, and super excited about that. And Hannah, maybe you could share a little bit about the growth over the past 4 years.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to talk maybe just even like some of the accomplishments, and then I'll get into some of the growth of the team. So um, Steph probably doesn't want to brag on herself, but I'll brag on the team even before 2016, how amazing. So we've been getting top awards for a number of years, and we don't always like tout that out. It's probably not our biggest priority, but we do really strive to be the best at what we do. And so you can see that in like what Steph and Derek did in the past in regards to being in the RE/MAX International Hall of Fame back in, what was that, early 2000s, Steph?
Yeah.
When you're at RE/MAX? Yeah.
Early in our career.
Yeah, and then coming to KW, right? I mean, I think that right now we're one of the top teams in the state, and that's super important that we keep striving to grow and to develop. And as you get in with us, you will see why we want to have that growth. We have really big giving goals, and we also want to grow that vision to be big enough for all of our team members. So if we have a team member that says, I want to sell 20 million, well, we need to be selling way more than 20 million to fit within that and have the structure for them to keep growing a team within the team. So yeah, we have on here about being recognized as a local leader. Steph has had lots of recognitions. I think I have like trophies behind me here for Steph and for the team over the years that we've received. So that is not the biggest priority, but we want to make sure you guys know that we are striving to be number one there. So last year, we finished at 49 million in volume. So we think it's important for you guys to hear those numbers so you kind of know the size of the team we're talking about. Volume's great, but most important is we helped 203 families in closing on their home. We were ranked in the top 25 out of all of Central Indiana, and ranked in the top 1% nationwide. Steph is in Gary Keller's for Keller Williams, the top agent mastermind. So that's only a few hundred agents that get invited to that, and that's based on production and a couple other factors. And so within that, she's getting access to top agents across the nation, to Gary, to his development. And so that really helps us strive and be at the forefront of what's happening in the industry. She has quarterly masterminds with those top agents. And so that's really educating us with that opportunity that we've gotten to take part in. And then we do have,
and I have the team to thank for that. That's not my doing. That's because of the team. So I'm just very grateful and blessed because the team has put us in that position to be able to qualify to be in that room. So yeah, absolutely. I just want to tout that, thanking the team for their efforts for the opportunity for me to be in that room and be invited.
Absolutely, yeah. And then we have a big giving goal. So we focus around giving to basic needs, so water, food, and shelter. And that is tied into giving of our time, talent, and treasures. So I won't go too much into the giving plan because I think we have a section on that later. But last year we gave over $32,000 in just financial donations alone, not counting time and whatnot. So that was last year. This year, so whenever you're watching this in 2020, our goal right now, we are on track for, we are looking to sell 55 million and help 244 families this year. And we want to donate 250 filters. So there's a chart behind me here, which you probably can't see all of it, but it has those water drops. And I would encourage you guys to check out Filter of Hope. It's an awesome organization, but our goal is to provide clean water for 250 households, which equates to about 6 adults per household. So it's a lot of people that we're working to provide clean water through for the donations that we're doing from our home sales. And then we want to add 5 new agents. So we've added some agents already this year, but we have 5 more positions we're looking to fill. And that's why we're doing this video, so we can communicate to you guys and see if we're a good fit for each other.
Yes, we're looking for 5. We're not just looking for 5 any agents. We're looking for 5 top agents who would share in the same goals and aspirations that we do as a team, and matching the same culture and vision and culture fit. You know, striving to give back and make an impact and difference in our community around us. So
yeah, we're like a family within our team. And so I think sharing all this information is so you can really look at it and say, hey, is that me? Does that fit who I am and where I want to be? And that's why we keep talking about all these details, because that's the who that we're looking for. We do have, oh, go ahead, sorry.
I was gonna say yes, and I have Hannah to thank for this Evelo Team growth goals, because yes, we've been striving to grow for the past 20 years, right? Being in business, and we grow to a certain point, and yet needing someone else to help manage the salespeople and manage that growth and all that operation side. So that's where Hannah, the Excel Queen, has helped us establish this Evelo Team growth goal chart, and this is what we're growing towards and what we're striving for each and every year in this growth pattern.
Yeah, so you guys can check out these numbers, but really the goal is to get our company to a point, which is off this chart. We haven't gotten to those years, but that we're giving 10% of our GCI back. So that can turn into some really big numbers. When you come on and you look at our value statements, we talk about giving $1 million. So first, Steph and I and the team want to look at cumulatively giving $1 million and then eventually giving $1 million per year. So you can see that that's going to be a really large team. But that's what we're passionate about. And like I said, building the vision so that each of your visions fit. No matter how big you want to grow, we want to have that support system to fit your vision within ours.
Yes, and we're looking for leaders, right? Mm-hmm. I think that so often when you're the CEO or the owner, a lot of owners maybe are a little bit intimidated or feel threatened by having other strong leaders come on or come aboard. I'm actually seeking them daily. So yeah, if you're wanting to grow and really strong in that leadership space, we would love to chat, right? Because next, I think, is the opportunity map. Yeah. And this is our current Evelo Team chart, growth chart.
Can we go ahead and show the opportunities coming up?
Yes, I was going to say, this is our current org chart, and then this is our opportunity growth map. And so these are the seats that we're trying to fill. So mm-hmm. we have a lot of space and a lot of opportunity. So we're looking for people who really are seeking additional opportunities for growth, for leadership, and really wanting to build their business, but also build themselves as a leader and help to grow and build something bigger than themselves. Because that's really what we're trying to do collectively as a team, is to build something that's so much bigger than ourselves.
Yeah, so all the greens are areas or divisions or positions that we're wanting to add in the future. And so we want you guys to have the opportunity to see where you can go, what you can do, et cetera. And it's really a conversation, right? Like, we are looking for people to jump in and take the reins and create those roles for themselves. So it's fun. It's fun to go through that process with you guys and see where it fits and how we can help you guys develop your own businesses.
Yes, it's super exciting because we're talking to some really awesome, amazing people, and we're looking for other awesome, amazing people. So
yeah. So
giving goals.
Tell me about, because I touched on it a little bit, but tell me a little bit about the background of like where our giving goal came from and what's your drive there, and then I'll get into what we get from closings for the giving goal.
Yeah, so the giving goal, so we're committed to give of our time, talent, and treasures, and give to the basic needs of food, water, and shelter. And just very, very quickly, two things that have really kind of contributed to this. Many don't know my backstory, but our house was hit by a tornado when I was 7, and my family lost everything. And so we did not grow up with a surplus of things. And these basic needs, when any of these things are taken away from you, I just have a super, super soft, tender heart for anyone who is in need of any of these items. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it may be by choice. They may be choosing not to go get a job or whatever that may look like. But very often and commonly, they're put into a position that they're not able to get out of. And so we're just super passionate about trying to help in these areas. Back in 2012, I was at a conference, and the leader asked us to break a board. And in that board breaking ceremony, you were supposed to put down a goal that maybe God had placed on your heart. And he said, maybe you've never even spoken it out loud. And at that very moment, my heart just started pounding. And I wrote down on my board, and I thought, oh my gosh, I've never told anyone this ever in my life. And this was back in 2012. And but on my board, I wrote down that I felt for a couple of years, God tugging my heart, that he was wanting me to create a company that would give away $1 million. And at that time, our team was not even at the place or position of making $1 million yet. So first I had to figure out, how are we going to make $1 million? And then now, how are we going to give $1 million? And so that is the journey that we're on, and that's the journey that we're in, and striving to why we're striving and looking for others who want to join that vision mission. And that's why we're just super excited about who is here. Everybody in our team is really bought into and really just takes a hold of that mission and vision for what we're trying to create. And like I said, something bigger than ourselves. We really want to our mission is making a difference, changing lives, and leaving a legacy. And that's really what it's about for us. And like I said, that started way back, back in the early years, but then just really has molded itself here since 2012. And we're really getting really refined on it. So we do set a giving goal each and every year, not only to give away our financial resources, but also giving away of our time and talent. And we do that in all kinds of different various ways, but we'd love to talk to you about that. And maybe you have some other creative ways that we could give as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So the question is, how do we get to that money, right? Where's that money coming from? So as a member of our team, everyone is contributing $5 to KW Cares, which is helping people in the KW family. It might be natural disasters. It might be something they're going through with their family. But $5 from each closing. Evelo Team's doing $5 from our side of the split, so it's $10 from every closing. So as our team grows, that money grows. Realtor Foundation, same thing. So Realtor Foundation helps fight homelessness locally. Filter of Hope is what we were talking about with the clean water. So we give 1% from each side for that. So 2% of our net closing income goes towards that. And then last is a little bit newer. We've been auctioning off listings. And we've done this a few times, but let's say you as an agent have a charity of choice and they do some sort of fundraiser every year. We've been, as the team, throwing in the marketing expense, and you throw in your talent and your time to do that listing, and we auction off a listing of a home. What's been really awesome about that, it helps you as an agent support a charity you're very passionate about. Typically, this is a higher priced item for their auction, so it's bringing in a decent amount of money for that charity. And it's allowing us to help with the things that we're already naturally doing. So we auction those off. And then usually there's a couple of times per year we have maybe you bring forward someone or someone suggests someone that needs a discounted or free listing. It might be someone who's in the ministry transitioning, a family going through a hard time. And so those are other ways that we're giving our time and our talent to help people through real estate, which we think is fun.
Absolutely.
Stuff.
So yeah, so let's talk about core values. So core values, so the Evelo team has been built on 5 core values of faith, relationships, integrity, trust, and authenticity. So those 5 core values have really set the stage for anyone and everyone that we currently have on the team and anyone and everyone that we're looking to bring into the team. And what this is all built around is because we have a really high desire to seek self-mastery, or we're all very driven for success. And that drive looks very different for each person on the team, but we're all seeking to be the best that we can be and the best that something's been done out there. Also, if you can't tell, obviously Hannah and I are very authentic, we're just very real people. And it's about authenticity and having very authentic relationships, authentic relationships with those within our team and also with our clients, and then those, outside in the public. And then we're a faith-based business operation. And that's, again, just goes back to the God first, family second, and career third. And that's just what we're built on, and that's who we are and what we're about. So,
yeah. All right, so let's talk compensation, the fun conversation. So we can share this information with you if you reach out to us and want to see more details, and I can run through numbers of what you would make on the team. But basically, we have a sliding scale incentive-based program. So there's a starting place. If you're new to real estate, you start at a certain level. If you've been in the business and you come over to the team, you start at a certain level. And then based on if you sell more within a certain year, you can make more money. If you generate the business yourself versus the team generating it, you make more money. The longer you're with the team and meeting certain standards, you get promoted to a different position. So there's lots of different incentives that we have to really motivate and challenge you to make more money. So I think it's pretty exciting. We've had it in place for almost 4 years now, and we have, those 15, I think we're at 15 licensed agents right now. And I think they like it. We have some good retention, and that's what we're looking for, is that retention, which is not easy in this business. that if we can keep those people and retain them and create a really valuable system, then hopefully we're doing the right thing. Cap system. So within KW, if you are on a team within our office, you have a quarter cap. So there's a savings opportunity there. And we can talk through what that cap looks like, what commission looks like on a normal transaction. But overall, our splits are about 30 to you and 70 to the team on listings. We cover everything from an expense standpoint. And average commission on buyers 45-55. But again, that's going to vary depending on all those different sliding scale opportunities. We really then want you to sell at least $4 million. That's what we think is going to give you a decent starting salary. That might sound like a lot, but typically within a team, you're selling, I would say, double than what an individual agent is because of all the support you have. And so that makes up for the difference of what you're paying in the splits there.
Yeah, and I think that something to think about, because sometimes if people haven't been in the business long enough or to really know and understand the numbers, the average agent, I think in our MLS, it's less than 50% of the agents sell 1 or 0 homes.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. So even to do 1 million in production is a lot in Indianapolis. I mean, relatively, right? Or 2. So really for us to expect 4 is a lot, but that's because we have really high expectations for our agents and for ourselves. And that's because we have really big goals, and we really want to partner up with others who really want to create big lives.
Mm-hmm.
It's about creating a big life for the agent, for their family, and the impact that we can have on the lives around us. So
yeah. And I think, like, just to give you guys an idea, I mean, the agents on our team right now, after all expenses, before taxes, of course, but they're making somewhere, it's a huge range, right? But like 40,000 up to close to 200,000. So again, it's really about creating the opportunities that you want for your family, for the opportunities that you want there. There's a big range, but we're open the door. Agents right now are on track. Like, I have multiple agents on track for 7 or so million, and 1 agent on track for 15 million. And then, plenty on track for that $4 to $5 million range. So, yeah, we just say if you do that 4 million, probably our systems, our structures, et cetera, will support the activities that you're doing around that business.
Yeah. And we're looking for people who want to build big businesses within our big business.
Right.
Right. We
Absolutely.
have teams building within the team. So yeah, we're super excited about what that looks like for the agent.
Yeah.
So what do you get from the team, right? So all expenses, and that's what I was gonna say, that those splits where some may question what that split looks like, but that's actually net, right? Like, that's actual net, except for these few small expenses. So the expenses that would not, all expenses that are covered except for, you would be responsible for your monthly KW office fee, which is $84 a month, which is super, super minimal. My MIBOR annual and tech fees, which that varies. I think it's about $1,000 to $1,200 a year. Continuing education fees, that is expected for you to pay, although you can earn what we call Evelo bucks through the year to pay for some additional education opportunities. And then we have an Evelo Team value proposition, and Hannah might want to touch on that.
Sure. So if you'd like a copy of it, or if there's anything from this presentation that you're like, hey, I want more info, if you can email us at careers@eveloteam.com, then we can send it over to you. So the value proposition really just puts a dollar figure on the things that we're providing to you. I think right now it's at like $81,000. And we know not every single item might be valuable to you as an individual, because each person's different in what they're taking and using. But those, I mean, between tech and admin and marketing resources, it will go over every single detail of what you're getting from the team. And again, like Steph said, there's really not much that you're paying for. Sometimes people say, hey, once I get licensed, what money do I need to set up my business? And on our team, it's really nothing, right? Like, you'll have your monthly office fee, but you're just ready to get rolling.
Yeah, absolutely. So speaking of getting rolling, how does someone get started? So Hannah, how does someone get started with the Evelo Team?
Yeah, so we're going to really help you get your business set up. Like we said, you're running your business within ours. And so that starts with a vision board, right? Like, we wanted to know what wakes you up every day, what motivates you, I don't want to be talking with you in your one-on-one and be like, hey, I need you to get another appointment, and not know the root of why that really matters for a paycheck at the end of the day. So we have those vision boards. We send those home with you, but we keep a copy so that we can reference that back and say, hey, you said it was really important that you are able to cover your mortgage payment for your mom so that you can support her. So that's why selling this house matters. We want to be able to have that starting point. From there, we say, okay, what's that financial nugget that needs to happen every year to support that vision that you have? So we have in KW, what's called an economic model that we go through to figure out how much you want to make, and then what that means in the number of closings per month, listings taken, buyers taken, and appointments set and held. So it's very simple. There's still work to be done, right? But we can get it down to the point of, hey, you need 4 appointments per month in order to hit your financial goal. Really helps us to stay on track and be very tuned into ensuring we get the goals that you set. From there, we set up a 135, which is just our term for business plan. And we won't go into too much detail of what that means, but each person on our team has their own business plan. Yes, there's definitely some overlaps, right? Like most of the team has on their 135, they're going to work their database. But really this business plan maps out, well, what does that mean? Like, what's that look like on a regular basis? And then a 411 is our monthly and weekly plan. And that just really takes the 135 and puts it into tangible activities, so that when you wake up on Monday, you say, I need to do these things in order to hit the goals that I set to accomplish the things on my vision board. So it's very systematic. And then we're having our one-on-ones every week, and the team's tracking the goals and having our team meetings so that we stay on track for the things that you want to accomplish.
Yeah, and I just appreciate all that Hannah does to help all of our agents be held accountable, because you know, top talent always wants accountability. They want to be held accountable to their goals because they want to achieve at a high level, and so they want to have that accountability. So we do have that coaching and accountability built in to our team structure, and that's you know, that's another benefit of the Evelo team.
Yeah.
So what are some of our other expectations is, obviously we're looking for people that want to be team players. We're looking for people that will be showing up on time to meetings. We do have just a few meetings per week, but we do expect everyone to be present there at the meetings, which is also why it's important, you know, that we're taking on full-time agents. And then accountability, as I just mentioned, accountability. We have accountability one-on-one sessions each week with your team coach, which right now is Hannah, and so she's holding you accountable to your goals. We're not setting the goal for you; you're setting your goal, and then we're just helping you be held accountable to it. You know, it's not from the top down. It's basically very much so agent centric, right? So you as the agent are setting your goal for what you want to achieve for yourself and for your life and for your family, and then we're just helping you reach that goal.
Mm-hmm.
And then education, training, and coaching. So not only do we have lots here locally, regionally, and nationally through Keller Williams, but all kinds of other education and training that's available to us. And we're really looking for those people, again, who are seeking self-mastery and who are always striving to further educate themselves, what I call sharpen the saw, always sharpening the saw, you know, iron, what is it? Iron sharpens iron.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're looking for those who want to constantly be sharpening the saw and, you know, constantly attending education, whether it's online or in person at the regional level, at the national level, different training and coaching sessions.
Yeah. Yeah. So some of the things we have listed in here. So there's tons of books that are available to you for real estate in general. But like on day one, we're handing you a red book, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent and the One Thing, and asking you guys to read that even before your start date. And then beyond that, we have Shift, which is super important right now in this industry with everything going on. And it teaches you some additional steps beyond the red book. And then depending on where you want to grow yourself in your business, the investing series is awesome. I've been reading through those myself over the past 12 months. So there's the investor, the blue book, the flip, and hold book. So if you say, yeah, I want to get some rentals, we have the resources there and want you to read those. And also for your clients, right? Like if you're working with investor clients and you have already read these, you're steps and steps ahead. And then we are the experts to them, and that's where we want to stand as their realtor.
And yeah, so for further expectations on training to attend, so again, the Ignite is actually Keller Williams national training that's taught at the local level. And then Bold is Business Objective, A Life by Design, and that's held here recently during COVID. That was actually held online, so you could take that virtually. And then I know it's coming up again in, let's see, July, August, starting again.
They're doing one in July and there's another one in August. Yep, I think they're doing it every month right now.
Yeah, so Bold is taking place all the time. They've shifted because of COVID. And then Keller Williams does have 2 national conferences per year, and I've attended every single one since 2007, except for one, and that was when I had a baby, so I missed one. But Family Reunion is in the usually in February, and then Mega Camp is usually in the fall. So there's 2, twice per year. Mm-hmm. And then other national, these are just some pictures of the national trainings. They also have masterminds that you can attend as an individual agent and or as teams, where you can go fly to attend. Right now, they've been having them, like I said, online, virtually. And then some of the local trainings that I just mentioned, but there's the Bold and Ignite. I think it's the next screen there, Hannah. Yeah, so Bold and Ignite. And we do encourage each and every one of our new agents on our team to attend both of these whenever it's available to you. So it may not be available for, a month or 2 or 6 months, depending on, but whenever it is available, we highly recommend it. I've taken Bold myself. I've been in business for 20 years, and I've taken Bold myself like 6+ times. So can't say enough about it, I guess, right?
Yeah. So that's lots of details we just shared with you guys about our team. We really want to be very transparent about, the type of agent we're looking for, the expectations that we have. We want to say, here's everything you need to know for you to make a decision. In addition to that, maybe you're saying, I don't even know if KW is the place for me. So Steph, tell me why KW? Why is that a good option for someone?
Yeah, so why Keller Williams? So Keller Williams for me, again, when I read the Red Book, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, it was very apparent to me that we were in the wrong space and place, and we needed to get to Keller Williams. So we did make the shift and change over to Keller Williams back in 2007. And back then, Keller Williams was not very big. They were not #1 in the U.S. Since then, they are now, #1 in the U.S., but it's not only #1 in size of agents, the number of agents. They have over 180,000 agents, not just nationwide, now worldwide, but we're also largest in agent count and closed units and in sales volume. So again, for someone like myself who really strives for that highest standard of excellence and self-mastery, right? I wanted to be associated with the best, and I wanted to learn from the best, and I wanted to be a part of the best, and I wanted to be a part of something that was going and striving to be the best that they could be. And so now Keller Williams is striving to be the #1 worldwide company. It's the #1 in the US, and they're going for world domination. And it's not just words, it's actually, they have a very strategic plan where we're headed that direction. And again, you can just see it here, but who you're in business with matters, right? Gary Keller talks about that you become the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with, right? And so I want to spend time with people who are pushing me to be better and better. And to, if Gary Keller says, if you're sitting in the room and you're the smartest person in the room, then you're in the wrong room. So, for me, it's always about surrounding myself with those very highly successful, intelligent people who are building their businesses bigger and better than I am. And so I can continually be striving to do bigger and better, in what I believe God has put me on this earth to do, right? Yeah. It's really just for me to be the best that I was intended to be. And so again, the last slide there, why Keller Williams Realty? For me, it's all about the culture first and foremost. The culture, it's Keller Williams, that heart right there in the center. Keller Williams is the heart of the business. I mean, if there's ever a business where there's the heart piece, it's Keller Williams. KW Cares, when this was when I was not at KW yet, and I heard of this story. This was one of the big deciding factors for me. So I learned of, back then, Keller Williams was not very big, but when they had Katrina hit back in New Orleans and all, when Katrina hit originally, and people were flooded out and lost their businesses and lost their computers and lost everything because it wasn't necessarily backed up to the cloud back then. agents had lost their businesses, their incomes, their way to even make income and all. Keller Williams is not very large yet, and they actually, within just a few days, automatically auto deposited $1,000 into every single agent's account.
Crazy.
Just to be able to give those agents cash, because back then they couldn't even get cash. The machines were wiped out, everything was gone, but deposited into their accounts automatically $1,000 so that those agents would have funds and means to be able to survive during that horrific, devastation and with the Katrina. So that was a life-changing story for me, because that showed me who they were and who they were about. And they weren't very big back then. I mean, that was a lot of money for them to hand out to each of their agents, because they weren't very big. And there were much larger franchises around the US that didn't do anything for their agents at that time. And so that was really spoke volumes for me. And so again, for me, it's the culture. And then the education is bar none. The training and education. Keller Williams has been notarized as the #1 training company in the U.S. over any and all industries, not just real estate industry, in any and all industries. And that was for like 4 or 5 different years in a row.
Yeah.
So they're the leading and training, the leadership opportunities, just opportunities in general. People always ask me why get into KW. I'm like, just get into KW, because once you get here, the opportunities just open up. There are doors of opportunity that open up, and it's amazing, and it's hard to even explain or put your finger on.
And step one thing, because I'm 4 years in, and we didn't join KW because of KW. We joined because we knew the Evelos. So it's been really neat. I think, like you said, it's hard to explain to others, but I think KW is very big about investing in the person. It's not about teaching you to be a great realtor, but it's about a lot of things, right? Like who we are as people, about wealth building, about being able to give more. So like Terrence and I were both in KW, my husband, and now I'm a coach. So I do coaching of other operations people. So that's a new income opportunity, new learning, new development, just something I'm very passionate about. He does flips and remodels. We've done it both personally, and we've done it where we're, working with others to invoice them, because he's become an expert in that flipping opportunity. We're working on getting a rental this year. And growing our real estate business, right? So those are all different things from an opportunity standpoint, just to give you one little example of what it could look like. And there's tons of stories and tons of people to learn from within KW, which is really awesome.
Yeah, and not a reason to join, not the reason to join KW, but it is definitely like the icing and cherry on top is the profit share opportunity. And I know, Hannah, you've just been in for a very short time, and you actually were not even licensed until recently, but you've been able to take part in the profit share system with KW, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And do you remember, I don't even know the answer, but do you remember what has been your biggest profit share check or
like
per
in a month?
or per year, whichever?
So like last year we earned, I think, like $1,200, because Terrence is my sponsor, my husband, and then I've sponsored other agents. So yeah, I just had my 4-year anniversary with the team, and we made $1,200 passive. And it's been cool because I'm the one recruiting the agents in anyways, right? So it just gives us another stream of income, just like I was talking about the opportunities where
and
I
you're
would
not
be
even licensed, and that's
right.
passive income, and you're not even licensed. So that's where it's just an additional stream, like you said, just an additional stream of income.
Yeah.
So then on KW, of course, the support, I mean, all of the support that you get at the local, regional, and national level is amazing. The technology, I can't even go into the depth of what Gary Keller has invested in time and money. And how much, do you recall the number, Hannah, of how much he's actually committed to investing personally into the technology of KW?
Was it in the, am I crazy in thinking it was in the billions?
Like that's what I thought. I want to say it was 1 billion, but it was over like the next 10 years.
Millions of dollars.
Yes.
So,
and over the next like 10 years. So that's the thing, the technology and just the vision of where KW is and where it's planning to go. And when I started in KW, like just at 13 years ago, we were only in 2 countries, in the US and in Canada, and now we're in like over 40 countries. And so I'm just super proud to be a part of this organization, super excited to be a part of, Keller Williams and what it is and what it stands for, what it's about. And of course I can talk for days
I
about
know,
it.
that's what I was thinking. I'm like, we have so much to say, but so little time.
So much to say, but that's just another added value. But that's where we want people to look at the Evelo team as an opportunity and an opportunity to grow themselves and grow their business. But Evelo team is also growing our business within the Keller Williams umbrella. And so we just want to invite others into that fold, right? And into that opportunity, what KW offers, what our team offers, and see what the future holds. So
that's right. That's right. All right. So that is everything we wanted to talk to you about. So hopefully that answered some of the questions that maybe were running around in your mind already. So we just wanted to share kind of how our process works. Maybe you've started the process, maybe you haven't. But we go through a very thorough interview process for our team. We think it's like dating because we're going to get married when we hire you, right? So you may or may not already have had a phone interview. That is usually with Steph. It's about 30 minutes long. It's a get to know you for us to kind of know your background and experience. From there, we send you a couple of assessments, personality assessments, and our first face-to-face meeting is to validate those assessments. Takes about 90 minutes. Our next
right now during COVID, we're doing them digitally. We're doing them virtually. So we whatever anybody's comfortable with. Right now, we've been doing them virtually.
Yeah. So our next face-to-face is called the Future Self, where really we're looking at if life was amazing in 5 years, what are the things that we would be hearing about what's happened in your life, in your business, etc. We'll then check references, and then we do a group interview. So Steph and I pull out of that group interview. We have you meet with some of our different team members, our senior realtor partners, to help us really see if you're going to be the right fit for the team, but also for you to interview them and see what's the nitty gritty, what's the things we didn't tell you, what's our dirty laundry. We want you to hear it all so that you can really decide that this is the right fit for you. And then lastly, I sit down with you and we do an expectations meeting. So we talk a lot of coverage in regards to the expectations Steph was going over in this discussion, and say, hey, this is what you're committing to if you join our team. And we get you going on training and get you started and running in the business as quickly as possible. So we really want to leave it as if you've started the conversation and you're ready for the next step, let us know. You can reach out to that careers@eveloteam.com. If you haven't started the process and you'd like to interview with our team, please reach out to us same way so that we can get you started. We're very passionate about helping people find the right careers. If it's with our team, great. And if you get started down the conversation with us and we say, hey, actually, we think this would be a great place for you, we want to facilitate those introductions as well. Steph, anything I'm missing?
Yeah, no, I think that's it. I think, my background was psych and nursing, and I was admitted for my master's in counseling. And so really, I'm just trying to help counsel people find their right place in space, right, where their purpose and passion is. Everybody was put on this earth for a specific purpose and passion. And so, we hope that it may be here on our team and fulfilling your purpose and passion through real estate with the Evelo team. And if it's not, that's okay. No harm, no foul. Again, Derek and I are not only owners of the team, but also owners within Keller Williams' office and the Keystone and Fisher's offices. And so whether it be on our team or maybe it's another team in the office, or maybe it's just, maybe we go through when we go through the assessments, especially on the KPA validation stuff, it's very common that we may go through there and see that you're actually made and fit more to be a single agent on your own. There are people that are not meant to be on a team, right? Because they do like to be their own single island, right? Like on their own island. And so that's okay too. And it's just really they call it a career visioning process, because it's just stepping through this process and us helping to figure out and help along with you figure out what is the vision for you in your life and your career and what that looks like. And maybe it's with our team and maybe it's not, but we are looking for just a few good men and women. And so maybe that will be a match, and we'll look forward to what the future might hold.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys so much, and definitely reach out to us with additional questions. And we hope you find the right fit for you. And take care. Oh, Steph, wrap us up.
Well, no, I was just going to say, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And remember to reach out to careers@eveloteam.com with any questions, or if you want to go through and start on the next step in the process, or if you want to start the process. And remember, as always, make each moment count.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.